At 17, I was assistant of Kyabje Saramji. I was elected in the center. Let me tell you, a few powerful sponsors in the center were totally against it. They told Geshe-la, no way. He's such a bad representation of Saramji. He's just a kid. Look at the way he looks. Look at his hair, the way he dresses. I look like a freak. I admit it. You've seen my pictures. They said that to represent one of the greatest living dharmas of Tibet, dharma teachers of Tibet, that? Certainly we can do better. Yeah. And they said a couple of other nasty things about me too. They did. Mamie told me. When I heard, I was very hurt. I was very hurt. I almost cried, but I contained myself. But when I heard that, I pushed myself much, much more. I pushed myself much, much more when I heard that. I woke up early and I went to bed late. And I didn't know how to cook. I asked everybody that had time to show me how to cook, and I cooked. And sometimes I burned the food that I offered Saramji. And I learned and I couldn't talk to him directly in the beginning. And I got translators to find out what he likes, what's his schedule, what's his food, and I made it and I offered to him. In those many months, I didn't even get a chance to eat myself. There was no time. I'm not kidding you. I would work part-time in Photomat, and I worked a part-time job because I was serving Saramji, and I came back in the afternoon. I was making about $500 US a month to survive. That's it. My rental was 150 or 160, something like that. And a lot of times to get money from the committee or whatever to reimburse and keep receipts and all that was very complicated for me. So I just checked it. A lot of the stuff I bought, whatever I had extra. And I served Rinpoche in the center. And I cooked for Rinpoche, his entourage, and my Geshe-la and their guests. So I made 7 trays of food every single day for 6 months. 7 trays I prepared. Each tray would have food for Rinpoche's German students that were here, 2 German ladies. For Rinpoche's translator, the translator's uncle, 2 monks. I had to make food for Geshe-la himself. I had to make food for some other people. I forgot who it was, but I remember 7 trays every day was laid out in the kitchen, and I made 7 sets of eggs, 7 sets of toast, 7 sets of. Some wanted coffee, some didn't want sugar. I had to prepare the sugar, everything for them because they're Rinpoche's entourage, and I need to take care of them. And I'd serve Rinpoche up first. I get way up early in the morning, and I go up and bring breakfast to Rinpoche first. Offer him the breakfast, and I make 3 prostrations immediately. Why did I do that? Because I don't know how long I can be with him. And I didn't want to prostrate to a statue. I wanted to prostrate to a living Buddha. So I made 3 prostrations to him and offer him the breakfast, pour the tea, and I put his diabetic pill inside, the diabetic sugar for Kyabje Saramji. And then I took my way, and then I went to my teacher, Geshe-la. I offered him breakfast, and I made sure everything was hot and all right. If sometimes one of the tray was not hot, I would heat it up very quickly. Then I go to the translator. Then I offer to the translator's uncle. Then I offer to Rinpoche's assistant. And then I offer to the 2 German ladies. And then I would do that every day. And then by the time I finish the last person, I'll go back up and wait by Rinpoche while I was eating. And then I would take his tray. If there's something left, I asked his permission, and I would eat his leftover. I wanted his saliva. I wanted something he had bitten every day. So I would eat his leftovers, even the crumbs I would eat. Why? I believe in my Lama. Very much. And his cups and his plates I would wash first and clean it, and I would put it in the highest place in the kitchen. That's what I was taught by Geshe-la. Not mix it with other people's things. And I would not crack it and not damage it. And his spoon and his silverware, sometimes I'd wash twice. And I'd wipe it very carefully, very clean, so that none of his silverware was dirty. None of his silverware was sticky. Why? This is my opportunity to serve my Guru. So I clean, and even his tray, I wiped it clean, everything. And I put it away. No one touches his items. I have a special place, and I put up a sign there just in case anybody makes a mistake. And then I would do that with Geshe-las, take his leftovers. And I would do that with the translators and all their food, everyone's. If there was any leftover, I would give it to the dogs outside. And then I would feed the cat to the center. Then if I had time, I would clean up the kitchen, wash, put the trays away, put the dishes away, put everything away. It's like 2 loaves of bread a day. Everything I would put away, and then I'll go and take a shower quickly, and I get dressed and go either walk to work or take a bus to work if I was late. Then I work until about 2 or 3 o'clock, and I switched my job to a location that was very nearby because I didn't have a car. So then I would take a bus back or walk back. If I walk back, it's about 20-25 minutes. If I take a bus back, it's literally 5 minutes because it's not too far. It's like from here to center, from here to the center, KH, from here to the center, distance of my work, something like that. But it was a straight line, straight, so I can walk it. And then I come home about 3 o'clock. I would start cooking dinner. Someone would take care of lunch because I had to work. So usually dinner, more than breakfast, dinner, someone would come and help. Not usually, once or twice a week, someone would come and help because people wanted to make dana to Rinpoche in the entourage. So they helped me cook. So usually dinner, I had to learn how to cook at the stove. I had to learn, and I knew only a few dishes, and let me tell you, it was a challenge to cook for 7 people a day. I had to run to the store to do the shopping. Sometimes one of the students would do it for me. I would wash everything, prepare everything, cook everything. Sometimes I burned it. I had to do it over very quickly, very, very fast. It was very scary. I hated cooking, but Geshe-la wanted me to do it. And I would cook, make 7 trays again with the drinks, and Rinpoche likes Tibetan tea, but there's a certain way that he likes it, because I have to make it the way he likes it. The right amount of butter and all that. And then I would serve, Khenpo Saramji, go upstairs, offer to him, I make 3 prostrations. And sometimes I would have the luck to sit near him, because I was not in such a big rush, and massage his feet. I would do my best to massage his feet every day. I would go in, make 3 prostrations. No one told me I did this. I would go in, I make 3 prostrations, offer Rinpoche the food, and I would kiss his feet, because I read in a tantric manual, Indian base, to show the deepest respect to someone very high is to touch the lowest part of their body. So I would kiss Rinpoche's feet, and Rinpoche, after a while, made it a game. He would do this to me. And then he'd go like that, and then when I tried to grab it, he'd go like that, and he'd laugh. This grandmaster. And then when I grabbed it, I would put it on my head, and I would kiss it. Tibetans don't kiss. I did it because I'm from America. So it was my way to show my reverence to him, because I couldn't talk. I don't speak his language. So I would take his feet, put it on my head, and then I would kiss it, and then I would offer his food, and I'd go off. Every day. Almost every day. And then I would be very aware below his seat if any of his goatee had fell off. If any of his goatee fell off, I would grab it. One single pore is more merit to make offerings to than the whole merit field. One single pore of our Guru's body is more of a merit field to make offerings to than the whole lineage of Buddhas. I read that in Lama Chöpa, and I believed it. So I couldn't get his pore, so I got 1 hair from that pore. What's the difference? So I collected all his hairs, and I would show him. I would do this. He would do like that. I have to get his permission. I can't just go to steal it. So a lot of the hair I collected is in here. A lot. No one taught me. I wanted Dharma. I ran away from home to learn Dharma, to serve a Guru. I ran away from home. I hitchhiked from New Jersey to New York, from New York to California 3 times. The 3rd time I was successful to learn the Dharma. So when I came across such a great master, such a teacher, I am not going to lose my chance. That's what I thought. No way. Then after I served everybody their dinner, I would clean up. Sometimes Rinpoche had food left, sometimes he didn't. If he didn't have food left, and sometimes I was a little smart, I made more, so I made sure there was leftovers. Sometimes Rinpoche foiled me because he was very hungry, ate more, so I'd have his leftovers. If I didn't, it's okay. And then after serving Rinpoche dinner, because it took 3 to 4 hours to cook and serve everybody and clean, then would be Dharma teachings. Dharma teachings inevitably start around 7:30. Between 6 to 7:30, depends on weekend or weekday. And Dharma teachings would finish around 12 midnight, 1 a.m., 2 a.m. every day for 6 months in Los Angeles, Tupten Darjeeling Center. And the place was packed. And so after I served Rinpoche, I would have to clean up the kitchen, and I'd run upstairs and make sure everything in Rinpoche's room was all right. And if Rinpoche has audience or people coming to meet him, I would vacuum his room, and I would make sure everything's clean, everything's in order. I would go downstairs and run to them and say, a few minutes, and I would confer with Rinpoche's assistant. Is it okay? They say okay, then I would assist the person in and make sure. I don't wait for Rinpoche to come out and say, hey, you can come in now. Never. I make sure that, and then when they walk upstairs and they go inside Rinpoche's room, they have audience, I would stay nearby quietly. If I was allowed in because it was not private, I would sit nearby. Why? In case Rinpoche needed anything. How did we speak? He would point out things. I would make sure. I would never let Rinpoche be without anyone. Never. I would be nearby, alert as possible to make sure everything was there for him. And after his interviews, his divinations or whatever, then I would assist him downstairs. Carry incense or whatever, carry his hat, and make sure he sits on the throne. When he sits on the throne, I don't leave him. I help him on the throne. I fix his robe. I make sure everything's straightened. Even before he sits out, I make sure everything's straightened. I want to walk up there. And I was very young that time, and people were amazed that Rinpoche would let me come so close and that I knew so much. Even his main assistant sat by and watched because they knew how much pleasure I derive from this. And then I would sit for Dharma teachings. I had notebooks and notebooks of notes that I wrote down that were very useful now, that I wrote. Geshe-la would be in the front, there would be a translator, and I would write notes. And in between teachings, if Rinpoche needed anything, his thermos would always be filled with whatever he needed. I would make sure of it. And if the teachings were exceptionally long, after they were finished, Rinpoche would go upstairs. I would assist him upstairs. If I had to help the Dharma students explain or talk about some questions or answer something, I would do so. If Geshe-la needed something, I would do so. If not, I would go upstairs and give Rinpoche a massage. Usually, if I can nightly, I'll give Rinpoche a massage. Once in a blue room, Rinpoche has a headache, so I have the honor to touch his head. I'll wash my hands, purify it with incense, and I'll make 3 prostrations, and I'll massage his head. Why? Whether I'm clean or not clean doesn't affect Rinpoche, but it affects me, my awareness. To be conscientious about what I'm doing and what I'm serving and who I'm serving. To be conscientious. Why? I want attainments. So I would massage Rinpoche's head very gently. I make sure my nails are cut. I don't puncture. I'll be very careful and very aware because I'm touching my guru's head. My guru. The one who confers on me Dharma. And then I would massage his back. And usually when he's doing his sadhana, I would have the honor to massage his feet. And I would never want to stop. Never. I massaged until he said to stop. And I wouldn't sit there and just, I would do every part. I would do as best as I can, make sure he's comfortable. And I would observe his face to make sure that I'm not creating pain for him. If I went like that, and sometimes he'd go like that, then I know that's not good. I would observe. Why? It's my guru. It is my guru. That's why I left my home. That's why I left college. Going to school to learn Dharma. This is what I did. You can confer with anybody from Tutin Jajini who was there when I was there. You can ask Mamie if you ever interview her. Am I serious? And in the presence of my Rinpoche, I never slouched. Because that's what it says in the 50 verses of Guru Devotion. And I know why now. It's to create awareness. If I don't slouch in front of anybody, it's good manners, isn't it? In front of my Lama, he's teaching me good manners. So that when I go out into the world, I can be more effective in whatever I want to do with people. I never slouched in front of my teacher. I never farted. I never burped. If I coughed, I covered myself. That's what it says. I didn't scratch myself. I didn't twist my body around. I didn't massage myself. I didn't crack my knuckles, because that's what it says in 50 verses, not to do that in front of our teacher. And the reasons why, because we're going to go to hell if we do that? No. Awareness, manners. Awareness and manners. If we can't do that in front of our Dharma teacher, who can we do that in front? And that's the whole purpose of having a Dharma teacher, is to bring that awareness to the forefront. I will be very aware of that. Very aware. And I will never forget those days. I never look back on those days as work. I have never regretted or felt tired or didn't want to do it. Never. Not even once in my life for the last 20 years. Oh my God, it was so much work. I almost died. I don't even remember being in pain or being sick. I didn't go out to any clubs or meet any of my non-Dharma friends or do anything in that 1 year. And the 1 year just passed like that. And I was in mortal fear that Rinpoche would leave. Mortal fear. And I couldn't think even of the day he was leaving. He taught me the Dharma. His lineage was pure. He conferred on me the highest initiations. He gave my Dharma protective practices. All the paths of Dharma from Lamrim to the highest, he conferred upon me. He scolded me. He shouted at me. He gave me so much love that what I'm doing today is his kindness. It's totally his kindness. He is the only person that I miss every single day. I don't have much attachment to people. The retreats that I'm able to do, the little bit of improvement all stem from him. I will never, ever give up my vows and my commitments and the promises I've made to my root guru. Never. Even at the cost of my life. One big reason that I teach Dharma today is because of Rinpoche and the promise I've made to him. If I break my promise to Rinpoche, then there is no more Buddhas for me. Buddhas don't exist. Why? If I can't commit to the person who has taught me the Dharma and has shown me so much kindness, who can I commit to? A wife? A husband? A friend? A business partner? What's the long-term benefit of that? I'm committed to my Lama. I have an attachment for him because I have not met anyone like that. I'm committed to my Lama because he's given me the highest empowerments, and I know their benefits, and I know how important they are and how rare they are. And it's to get it from such a master. Incredible. I wish so much I can learn more from him and be near him and serve him. I wish so much. I wouldn't mind being his servant for the rest of my life. To travel with him and to be a servant quietly, to sit on the floor and near him so he can teach the Dharma. What's the difference if he teaches or I teach as long as the Dharma is taught? So if I can help someone teach the Dharma, why not? Incredible. When I read up on the manuals of Guru devotion and the conducts for the Guru, I resolved in my mind I will follow it all the way, irregardless. I have not made any infractions on my Guru devotion, not that I know of. I've never spoken against my Gurus. I've never argued or fought or do any of these things with my Gurus. I wouldn't dare. And whenever I have 14 Gurus, I visualize them all as one. Someone who's giving me the most powerful initiation, whether he's around or not around, I'm going to keep my commitments. I don't need him to put a gun to my head every day to make me do what he has said. I have promised him. And I said yes. When we say yes and when we promise, we have to do it. Our integrity lies in it. Our reputation lies behind it. Our self-growth lies behind it. Our spiritual growth lies behind that. Our lineage and our face and our parents and everything good that we represent lies behind it. When we say yes, we've got to do it. And if we make a mistake, we say, I'm sorry once, not twice, not 3 times, not 4 times, because we're simply taking advantage of people. How can we be someone that takes advantage of people, be an emotional parasite? We can't. I've met many masters, and they all are very kind, and I have received so much from them. But the impactful one leaves an indelible mark in me for the rest of my life. And that's what's been making me go for many years. That's why I encourage people towards Guru devotion. I'm not interested in being people's Guru. I'm interested in people having Guru devotion. Whatever lamas they have, I'm not interested in taking them away or separating them, because how would I feel? How did I feel when I separated from my lama? I wouldn't want that feeling for anyone. I think when Sarumchi left, we took a picture. I have the picture. The last picture I ever took with him. It was just before I went to work. It was one of the most hardest days of my life. And when he passed away, I didn't recover for months. You can say almost years. I didn't recover. Even going to India was exciting, but it was empty. I felt empty going to India. I felt empty going to Dharamsala. I felt empty going to Ganden. And when I went to his house, I felt empty, because I expected him to come out or be there or walk around. But he wasn't. It was incredible. But I kept my promise, because I said I will enter his house. I will go to India and I will join Ganden. That's what I told him. And there was a time when after he passed away, I wasn't going to do that anymore. I was going to pursue acting. I was going to pursue entertainment. I was going to do that. But one day I sat down and I said to myself, do I believe he's Hiruka or not? And I asked myself that. It was a very difficult question, because it was a very easy way to escape. Well, my guru died. I can't go to India and join him anymore. And the answer came out, yes. He's not physically in front of me, but Hiruka is all pervasive. Buddha Hiruka is all pervasive. So if I made a promise to him, I must keep it, whether he's directly watching me or not. So I said, okay, I'm going to do it. And then I packed up and went to India. But there was a short spell that I said, oh well, he's passed away. That's why, to me, people who make promises, I'm supposed to be their Dharma teacher. And that goes for Dharma teachers all around the world. And when people make promises, and when they break it, it still shocks me. I'll tell you why it shocks me. Because I'm not able to do that. I'm not able to do that. I'm not able to be rude to my gurus. Young or old, reincarnated, I'm not able to be rude to them. I dare not. In front of my gurus, I become like a rabbit. Because why? Because I'm afraid I'm going to go to hell? No, they're not so evil. Karma is not so ruthless. Because of the deep appreciation I have for what they have given me. Making offerings to my gurus, they can take everything I have. It doesn't matter. And being in front of them, to be humble and to show respect to them at all times and never let my guard down is not an effort for me. Why? Good manners should be effortless. Respect should be effortless. And if I make a promise to any of my gurus, I will do everything I can not to break it. And I've never ever made one of my gurus chase me or remind me of things. As long as I can remember, I've never. To make an old lama or your refuge preceptor or your dharma teacher or your dharma instructor chase after you and remind you, that's a job of what you should have been doing when you were growing up with your mothers. You should already advance to the next level of your growth, spiritual growth. Not still growing up with your guru and making him chase you and scold you and tell you things. That's what you and your mother should be doing. When you meet your guru, it should be already the next step. Your spiritual growth, not your physical manner growth. I would never be able to do that, never. Why? How could you be rude, lie to, talk about, scorn to someone who's taught you the Dharma from their heart? A knowledge that you can use to better improve your life. How can you? If you can scorn your guru, you can say negative things, or you can make him upset, or you can fight, or whisper things behind his back, or retaliate, or break your promise with your guru, everybody else is just below that, then you can do it to everybody and anybody. I would never be able to do that. Never. Never. I may not be a good practitioner for other things, but for Guru devotion, I've kept myself very, very firm. In Ganden, part of the reason people and the monks have some respect for me is because they've observed this for many years in Ganden. I've kept my Guru devotion very strong with each one of my Gurus. I maintained it very strong. So I encourage Guru devotion practice. I encourage respect to one's teacher. I encourage people to keep their samaya and keep their commitments clean. If you don't, where does your spiritual practice go? No commitment equals what? Equals what? So therefore, I can't explain to you how wonderful those days were of cooking, cleaning, and serving my teacher and receiving Dharma every single night. Can you imagine? I sometimes can't believe I was there. I can't believe I can run around the world at my age. I'm considered young for the teaching hierarchy. My master is Song Rinpoche, and I receive my lineage from him. I can't believe that. You know, it's people like Khensa Rinpoche and Lati Rinpoche and the abbots. These great masters, the great Lama Sopa Rinpoche, the great Ganjir Rinpoche and Gelek Rinpoche, these are the type of caliber masters that say, hey, my guru is Song Rinpoche. Not people like me. I'm too young. I'm too stupid and I'm too far away in America to be near such a great master. But somehow I connected. Somehow. And in America, not in India. Already when I was very young. It's unbelievable. Sometimes I can't believe it myself. So that leads me to believe the cause and the result resembles. Then I can say honestly from that deduction that my previous life, whatever it was, must have some kind of good guru devotion in order that this life at a very young age, many of the teachers I met were direct or indirect disciples of the same guru. All of them. All my teachers lead back to Trijang Rinpoche. All. Including His Holiness the Dalai Lama. All. Song Rinpoche is Trijang Rinpoche's student. Geshe-la is Trijang Rinpoche's student. All of these masters are Trijang Rinpoche students that I studied under. How did that be? In America, my first root guru, the great abbot of Saramay Monastery who has passed away, 10 minutes away from me, he's a direct student of Pabongka and Trijang Rinpoche. How did that happen? Even the initiation I received from him when I was very young, the first time, two initiations, was directly what he received from Trijang Rinpoche, Pabongka Rinpoche. How did that happen? 10 minutes away from where I was living. At home it was hell, but then I can always go to heaven on my bicycle. How did it happen? So since I'm always surrounded by elite qualified masters, and at the age of 11 I met His Holiness. Can you imagine? Stupid, runaway, suicidal me, living in New Jersey, running away, depressed, hating school, painting Buddhas with the Beatles playing, and then the Dalai Lama's coming 10 minutes away from our house. 10 minutes away by bicycle. You walk 15. Not even 10 minutes. It's very close. It's closer than it's from here to Center Point, this kind of distance. His Holiness the Dalai Lama was coming. I couldn't believe it. That one was another one when I heard, I could not stop controlling my emotions. I could not stop. It was unbelievable, the experience. And it wasn't who they were, it's who I felt. Because I've met other elite lamas. I respect them, but I don't feel anything. You know, it's not I don't like them or nothing. Okay, it's like that, good. I rejoice. But incredible. The impact His Holiness had, the impact Song Rinpoche had, incredible. Even today, I can feel every emotion I felt that time. So after I clean up, after Dharma teachings, everyone would go home because I lived at the Dharma Center. And I would clean up the kitchen, wash the floor, mop. I would clean up the cabinets. Why? So that when people come to see Song Rinpoche and Geshe-la, the place would be clean and they're not misrepresented. I didn't want that. No one told me to. In case Sarma Rinpoche walked downstairs past the kitchen, it would be clean for my guru's feet to step on. I wanted to make sure of that. So I made sure the kitchen was very clean. And once in a blue moon, Geshe-la would come downstairs. He wouldn't be looking, he'd be on his way to somewhere, and he'd look at what I'm doing. He wouldn't say anything, he'd do this to me. And that was the reward I got. It was more than enough. I didn't get any gifts. I didn't get all those stuff. I didn't get big flowery praises, nothing. But he just patted me on the back, which meant he was very pleased. Because Geshe-la sat there just like I'm sitting here now to prepare us for Sarma Rinpoche's coming and how to serve him, how to cook, how to clean, how to keep everything. He taught us just like I'm explaining now. And I was in the audience listening how to do that. And I never forgot. Never. Because I took it seriously. So all the few people who were not happy with me doing that because I would misrepresent Rinpoche and that would look bad and all that, I didn't care. But I proved them all wrong. Silenced. After that, no one had a complaint. No one complained. No one said anything. No one even talked about the burnt chicken I offered Rinpoche. No one said anything. Nothing at all, or the uncooked potatoes that Rinpoche patiently ate. Nothing. Nobody said anything. And whenever there was high lamas around, I had the honor to do that. And I waited and I honed myself. I honed myself for Sarma Rinpoche to come back so that I can do it again. And I waited. So anyways, I had a great time. And why I enjoyed serving my guru was this. Let me tell you. I felt I was collecting a great amount of merits. That's what the Dharma books taught me. And I felt I'm collecting with a person without faults. And I felt that everything that I do would accelerate my Dharma practice and my Dharma attainments if I did correct service. And how long can I be with him? How long will I live? How long will he live? And I was very worried. So I took every moment as if it's the last moment. All the time. So, everything else I'm wishy-washy about. People who know me, but not the Dharma. Not Guru devotion. Not commitments and promises I've made my Guru. No. I cannot be wishy-washy on that. Nothing else really has importance to me. So, today part of the reason I teach is Kajal Sarma Rinpoche. I'm not thanking him, but I'm doing it. I'm doing it because it's part of my commitment. And although he's been dead for about 20, 22 years and his holy incarnation is back, I made a promise to him. And unless I meet him again and get his excuse to be excused from that, then I can't continue. But if I'm going to ask that, I have to have a valid reason. It can't be from laziness, disappointment, depression, or self-cherishing mind that I'm so tired of dealing with people and I'm lazy to deal with people and I just give up. And then I go and ask his excuse, can I be excused? That is not a valid reason to be excused from something. Not valid at all. You see, I want attainments. I want to make my mind another level. I want to get the results of my practice. So I'm going to follow the fast and hard rules that would bring that result. Simple as that. The fast and hard rules. They cannot be wrong. All the lamas in Tibet, all the lamas from India, all those great Mahasiddhas cannot be wrong. Guru devotion cannot be wrong. Cannot be. Because every single master I've met talks about it. And the very attained ones take that as the pith of their practice. The pith. So they can't be wrong.